Hello, myself Sunil Krishna. This is the 49th part basically of the PHP. So see the create array basically. This is the creation of array. And array creation has many basically ways. You can basically create array in many ways. Basically. There are many ways basically. When you will Google the array, create array in PHP, then you can see many ways basically. This is the lots of people says that each version basically they change the stuff basically, so that's basically also good, and that's very tough also. That's basically it's not good also, but people basically mostly people basically never change the syntax basically of the PHP, sorry, of the programming language basically. Why? Because if you are using the particular stuff basically, and in next version basically when you do the changes, that basically creates the problem to the programming only basically. But many basically programming language people, many programming languages group basically, they change the entire syntax basically. You will not able to believe it basically. So say that basically they say that we have created the version basically. So it's हमारे मतलब it's our property basically. We will do anything with it. You are not supposed to aware about this whole thing. So we can't do anything basically because it's their property basically. They will use in whatever way basically they want to use them basically. So see the create array. How to create the array. This way also basically you can write the coding, but mostly people basically prefer in one line only basically. But there are many ways basically you can write the programming basically. So this is also one of the way basically you can see. Comma basically is there, which will separate the different array data. This is 0 number, this is 1 number, this is 2 number. So there are 3 data within this array, that is the cars, and in cars basically the 0 is the 0 number, is the this index, 1 is this number, and this is the third number, but it starts from 0 basically. But in some programming language it starts from 1 basically. So 100% of that means array basically is array basically which has created the physical area basically where array exists. That basically how it's created. That basically is the question. That basically need to check basically. So there might be some error also basically. So see the error. Declaring empty array basically. So you can declare the empty or also array basically. For example, in integer basically you assign the 0. So it will take the 0 basically. Why? Because it's a default data basically of the integer. In string basically you give the double quotes. That's a default data basically. In float basically 0.0. 0.00 also people say, but some programming basically say that basically we prefer 0.00. So see the array which gets printed. There are many ways basically I am telling you. So these all are the ways basically which we are here basically discussing. And you can basically have the copy paste of array, and you can dump into the, there are many websites basically which are available in the Google basically, or Lycos, which is any search engine. Write down basically PHP online editor. So when you will write PHP online editor basically, you can copy your code and you can paste there basically, and you can see the output basically. So there are many websites basically available in the market basically. You can see any of the output basically of the PHP coding basically. PHP accessing array basically. How basically you access the array 0, 1 and 2. The first index basically has 0 basically. Somewhere basically it's 1. So you can just imagine basically. So you are basically accessing two number value basically here. So that basically is 0, 1 and 2 basically. So this will be the output basically. And somewhere basically it will 1 and 2. So this will be the output in some programming language basically. So that depends upon the programming structure basically. Who basically created the designed the physical place, and according to the physical place basically how he say that basically here basically we will start the array from 1 basically. So that basically need to check basically that physical place basically how the array has been created basically. So that basically is the one task basically for the programming group basically who are basically designer of the PHP. But mostly basically if somebody has done this way, that means there might be some reason basically. Without any reason basically nobody do the mistakes basically. And this is not actually mistakes basically. He has separated the stuff basically. He told that basically I want to start from 1 basically of array. So there might be some reason. Without any reason basically nobody creates the stuff basically. One person told that basically we are creating smart city. So without reason do you think basically anybody will create smart city? So that's basically the modular city basically you can say. In this basically each city basically is creating human needs basically. That's why basically the reason of smart city basically created. Otherwise basically there was no need of smart city basically. Because nowadays the world basically is creating the human needs from the city energy. So see basically everything basically we already saw. Looping array also basically we saw. These all are the different ways basically. There are many ways to extract the array basically, and these all are the different ways. Updating the array items. You can update the array basically. You can update the table basically. You can update the tables row. You can update the tables column. You can update the entire row also basically. You can delete the entire row. You can insert the new row. You can insert the, but you can't insert the column basically. That basically you have to do through dynamic basically. Many tables basically are created dynamically and which are basically removed dynamically basically. So that's basically as per the report. Few people says that basically हमने तो पूरा स्क्रीन जो है डायनेमिकली बनाया. Entire screen basically created dynamically basically. So that's the requirement basically. So one of the person told that that person basically who created this everything dynamically, he might be knowing this everything basically. That is the if condition is created from 1,000 cities, all user controls are basically deriving from the 1,000 cities. Otherwise basically he that depends upon the company requirement now basically. We can't do anything basically. Company told that it should be dynamic, so it should be dynamic basically. So one of the person told that company should have this all information basically. That if condition equal to 1,000 cities, this that basically each and every stuff. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.